Okay, with 201, we are now going to start this webinar. So just as a little inside information, this is going to be recorded. So you will be receiving a recording of this within the next few days. We're going to create the email and then send it to you guys. So be expecting that. You guys are also in listen only mode. So you can't talk directly with me. But if you have any questions throughout this webinar, feel free to drop it in the chat or in the questions area, and I will answer those at the end of this webinar. So with that, welcome to the first webinar of 2021 for Polera in February, and we are going to be talking about specifically distribution groups and reoccurring calendars, two very exciting features that we actually spent a lot of time on. My name is Joseph McDonald. I am a product manager here at Polera Software. I've been here for about 5 years now and helped manage the release of both of these features. Okay, so the first feature is the first things we're going to talk about are just a quick 2020 update, just talking about the best features we released. And then that time period, we've released probably 24 individual features, but this is just going to comment on some of the best ones, some of the most exciting ones, some of the things we've seen you guys really take a hold of and start to utilize a lot. I'm going to introduce a quick special deal. I'm really excited to announce that. And then we are going to actually dive into what you guys are all here for. The first one is going to be distribution groups and the other being recurring events. I'm going to talk about what they are and then who gets them. And then we're going to have a walkthrough after I discuss those initial things. We're going to follow up with any questions you guys might have, and that'll be the webinar itself. I'm hoping this will not take more than 15, 20 minutes at the most. I know you guys are all busy, and this is a nice little reprieve, but you want to get back to work. All right, so with that, I just want to quickly double check, make sure everything's running smoothly. It's nice to see even more people are coming in. And okay, let's start with that webinar. All right, so what are the 2020 highlights? The first big one is resident and manager dashboard. These were released in 2 parts, and they are landing pages that when the resident or manager visits the actual Polera or the community, they get an update on any changes that have occurred in that community, anything that's important to them, such as for managers, any work orders assigned them. Board members get some really cool features like which tasks are assigned to them if you have the Board Plus feature, or which architectural change requests they need to attend to. Residents can see their balances, make payments, see office hours. So it's just a hub where they get to go and instantly know what is important to them in that community. The next feature is custom work order messaging. So when a manager or a resident visits the form for a work order, to fill out a service request, you can actually customize a message at the top that explains emergency numbers that they might need to call, what situations they should be sending this work order, or any other additional information you want there. We've had insurance for probably about 2 years at this point, but they were always difficult to access. You had to go into the individual occupants or owners profile and you'd see them there. We created an insurance dashboard where you can actually go in and see all the insurance for the community in one fell swoop. A great way to just manage all that. And then in a similar vein, alternate contacts got a big update as well with visitor management. Once again, previously you had to actually go into the owner's profile to see any contacts they might have or any guests that they might have planning on visiting. We now created a full dashboard that's fully searchable so that your gated community, front desk personnel, or even just general managers can quickly see any guests, alternate contacts, emergency contacts that your community might have. And it's very responsive. In a matter of seconds, you should be able to get the information you want. A giant request that's been years in the making is cross-community emails. This is a paid product, separate from a lot of these others that are included with specific products, but cross-community emails, it's its own thing. This allows you to send across your entire portfolio with a single email, such as if you want to send a message out to every board member across your entire portfolio, across all your communities, you can do that quickly. Send to specific communities, send to owners, managers, whatever you want. There's a lot of power there. And we've seen a number of managers really impressed with how much time they managed to save when they got to send out those massive emergency emails, or whatever else that they have to do. And then the last big highlighted feature is custom calendars. Calendars themselves were released in 2019, but it wasn't until 2020 that we allow you to have multiple calendars. And this really helps with organization. So you can have your board meetings, trash pickup, tennis club, other committees, all on their own individual calendars. So if a resident or a manager visits the community's calendar, they can quickly toggle on or off what is important to them at that time. Yeah, so that was the biggest stuff for 2020. I just want to bring up a quick special deal that we have. Um, for a limited time until May 1st, you can sign up individual communities for an unlimited community and phone texting plan. It's $2 per unit per year, and it's based off when they sign. So if they sign in April, for a full year, they have unlimited phone and text for that price. This can be purchased per community. So if you have 3 or 4 communities that are really interested in this, it's a great way for them to get on board, give it a test run, see how much they're really going to push it and use it, and if they really like it, and give them more on that. We've had the $2 per unit per year pricing for a while, but this is the first time that it's actually just straight up unlimited. So give that a try. In the chat, you're going to see a PDF. You should see a PDF that explains it a little bit further, as well as a form for you to be able to fill out if you're interested. You can also just reach out to sales@polaire.com or even support@polaire.com if you just want to inquire a little bit further about it and see all like the little nitty-gritty on it. So now let's actually get into what you're here for. Distribution groups is one of the most anticipated features we've had since I've been here. It's easily been a requested feature since Polaire's inception. The ability to organize people and send messages. So what exactly are distribution groups? This isn't your normal distribution groups that you'd see in other emailing or distribution communication platforms. This is specifically built for the industry, and it's something I've never seen before. I'm really excited for this. So you can organize distribution groups by street, building, floors, units, or people, and it automatically updates and cleans itself. So what does that mean? Say you have a committee and you want to email them or message them in any way that they want. You can create a committee distribution group full of like 8 individual people, a dozen individual people, however many you want. If one of those committee members leaves that community, you do not have to remove them from this list. We are not going to send communications to them. They are not going to be part of that group anymore. They're still going to be there in the background, but we don't send directly to them. And we actually pop up a big warning saying, hey, this person's no longer here. We're not going to message them anymore. Do you want us to remove them? So you don't have to worry about sending people in from vital, potentially confidential information that they don't need access to because they left the community. Same with the streets, buildings, floors, and units. Just like our normal send announcement feature, if an owner leaves a unit and a new one moves in, that new owner is now part of that unit and therefore part of that distribution group. So if you want to say all lakeside homes are this part of this distribution group, or these 6 buildings or these 100 units or whatever you want are part of that distribution group, it will automatically update based off who the owners, tenants, whatever are in that community. I have never seen anything like this before, and it's super exciting. We've already seen a number of people really starting to push the boundaries of what that can do. So who gets distribution groups? Anyone. If you have phone, email, and texting announcements, or just announcements in general with email only, you will get distribution groups. You can access them right now. You can go under settings, and I'll show you how to do that when we get to the walkthrough section. This is not some kind of additional paid thing you have to do. Like this is just included with your Polaire. So really good stuff there. And that's enough for distribution groups. Once again, I will walk through them once I'm done this initial presentation, but let's jump over to reoccurring events. And once again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A or chat area. I will answer them at the end. So what are reoccurring events? I'm sure most of you are familiar with them. Google Calendar has them, most calendar apps have them, and we finally do too. They're any event that needs repeating across multiple days, weeks, months, or even years. It's actually surprisingly complex to build, and we're happy to give it to you. So who gets them? Once again, this is not a paid additional feature. If you have the resident portal, that means you have calendars. And if you have calendars, that means you have reoccurring events. So you can access those right now. We actually released them, if not a week ago, then 2 weeks ago. I can't remember the exact date, but it's a very new feature. Okay, so now I am going to jump into the walkthrough and actually show you what these things look like. So this is the portal like you would have see if you had logged in as well. This is our actual test demo community. And here you can see the dashboard like I was bringing up earlier that brings up open tasks, office hours, waiting packages, anything that somebody might need when they're logging in here. And I wasn't going to bring this up, but you can actually do this across your entire portfolio, all of your communities, or just your current community, so you can get a lot of cool data there. Let's jump over to calendar first and just show you what that looks like. So here you can see the calendar feature, just like you always could before. The create a calendar is the custom calendar feature I was talking about before, and you can see that here. So if you don't care about tennis court hours, just turn that off. If you don't care about virtual hangouts, just turn that off. Great way to stay organized. And here you can already see examples of recurring events. Trash pickup every Thursday, tennis training every day, and then you have virtual hangout every other Friday. A lot of power, a lot of versatility there. And let's just create one right now. Let's say start this on Monday the 15th. Here you can see the normal calendar. Let's create, maybe there's road repairs happening right now. And we want to say Maintenance Incorporated is working on the roads. They're early risers, so they're going to start at 6 a.m. And they go until 3 p.m. Very easy time. So in order to make this a recurring, you'll notice a new checkbox down here, recurring. Let's click on that. And then here you can set the days. Do you want it every day, every 2 days, every 3 days? Maybe it's a weekly thing, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday it's going to happen. Maybe it's a monthly, every 3 months on this day, or maybe it's, I doubt it would be yearly, but maybe for certain things, maybe road repair needs to happen every 2 years or every 3 years. You can actually set a recurring event that every day, every year, or every 3 years on this day, this event occurs. It's up to you what you need to do. Let's say for now, it's every other day. And let's say it's going to last until the 28th. That makes sense. It's going to take a little while to get this done, but they plan on finishing it by the end of the month. So this way you can notify your entire community that, hey, road repair is happening from Maintenance Incorporated on this time, on these dates, during this period. And let's just add that event right now. Get rid of that. Okay. And there you can see road repair right there, road repair right there. It's every other day. And then it goes until the 28th. If you want to delete them, let's just delete them right now so I don't muck you up the demo community. So you can choose to delete just this event or all future events. So let's just delete all future events. And it's the same if you wanted to edit. Let's say we want to edit this virtual hangout. Maybe it's now starting at 8 o'clock instead of 7:30. And it's still going to be Friday, still never ending. And we can decide, is it going to be just this event or is it going to be all future events? Let's just make it this event for now. And there you can see it has now updated to 8 o'clock for just that event. And just like our normal calendar feature, you can send a notification updating them on this, adding additional information if you want, anything like that. So that's our recurring events. Super exciting stuff. Took several months of development to actually build. And like I said, you now have access to it. You can log in today and start using it. And we've actually seen a few of our customers beginning that. So now let's jump back over to distribution groups. To create a distribution groups, you go under settings and distribution groups. Here, it'll take you to a new page where you can see a list of already created distribution groups or add a new one. Let's add a new one. And let's just call it committee. Just a committee. You can give it a description if you want, but you don't have to. And then you can jump over to group. This is where a lot of the power lies in distribution groups, the ability to select either occupants or locations for it. And it really depends on your need. If it's a committee full of people, occupant search is going to be your thing. If you're looking for breaking up units for a specific reason, if you're in a high rise or something like that, it might be all units that are across an elevator, or all units that follow a certain duct. If you are an HOA that's on the waterfront, it might be all waterfront properties, or it could even be homes with basements that have certain risks that are accommodated towards that. Um, so if you're going to do a street or unit or location or anything like that, you select the unit, you select the location, find by, and then you can see this little module here. So if you want to add a street, maybe you want an entire street, hit Supreme Circuit, and you can see here, anybody on that street are now going to be part of this distribution group. And there's certain ways to filter on this further, and I'll show you that when we're actually sending the announcement. But let's say memory lane. You don't want the entirety of memory lane. You only want a specific building. You can select just that building by filtering on memory lane. Let's say up the road. Maybe you don't want the entire building. Maybe you want a specific unit in that building. Well, you just filter down and select just that unit. You can see here, we're now going to be sending to Supreme, then we're going to be sending to 1880 memory lane, and then we're going to be sending to unit A. So that allows you to break it up however you want. If you want all units in this, if you want certain streets, certain buildings, certain units, you can divvy that up however you want. Jumping over to occupant search, let's just, you just type in some email or name that you're interested in. Let's say Harry and Ginny, just drop them in, add occupant, and you can see right here, you can actually have all 4 different types all on the same list. So if you want to send mostly to units, but then you want a certain board member, a certain owner, maybe a certain manager to also receive all notifications from this list, you can easily drop them in as well. So that is a lot of the power behind distribution lists, being able to select units, buildings, streets, floors, being able to do occupants, all in a single list that is self-cleaning. Like I said before, if Harry and Ginny leave the community, they're no longer going to receive messages from this list. If Draco is in unit A and they move out, whoever moves into unit A after that is going to be now part of this list. So there's a lot of really cool power there. And then, of course, once the list is actually generated, you can see a preview of who is on that list. And then it's ready to send. So jumping over to, let's just send an announcement. So you can see the send announcement area is pretty much like it's always been. And let's just test. So you'll notice here, you're familiar with all of community specific locations. There is now a third option, distribution groups. Here you can once again go to the manage tab, which we were just in, or you can start filling out who should be receiving these messages. So the nice thing too is you can have multiple distribution groups sent to at a single time. So if you want all homes in a basement and waterfront properties to be sent to, easy peasy, you just select them both. They are now part of the list that is going to be created. Here you can see all the normal communication preference. And then if I say preview and send, here you'll see everybody organized. Just like a normal list, you can choose who to include. Maybe you don't want tenants to be a part of this. Maybe you don't want other occupants. Maybe you specifically want board members. So you can cut and paste this as many times as you want to create a unique list for the specific case you have right now. Okay. So we're already at 219. That was a quick walkthrough of reoccurring events and distribution groups. Really exciting stuff. If you have any more questions, feel free to send to support@pollara.com. I'll see if we have any questions in chat. Nope, looks like we're pretty good. If you do have any questions or any more information, or you need any more information, feel free to reach out to support@pollara.com. And if you're interested in the credits, fill out that survey, the form that we put in chat, or reach out to sales@pollara.com or support@pollara.com, whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Either one is going to help you with that. So that is the webinar for today. 20 minutes, a little over what I was gunning for, but I hope I didn't bore you too much with that information. And I hope you're excited to jump in and try both of these new products that are in your app today. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.